Alright, Nerd Army, get ready. It's gonna be a bumpy one today. As always, I'm Nerdy number 3 and I'm gonna do a theory today on a movie I have already covered, but I promise if I got 5 likes on the last one, I would cover this theory. I have a special guest along with me as well. Say hi to Radical J, aka RJ.
How's it going, everyone? Thank you, Nerdy number 3, for having me on today's show.
So the theory, if you all remember, is that it makes an appearance in A Wrinkle in Time. Since I explained the plot of it in my last theory, I will only explain A Wrinkle in Time. Also, if you didn't guess before, spoiler alerts coming at you.
I mean, the movie has been out for a while now, so it's kind of your own fault for not seeing it any sooner, So, A Wrinkle in Time is based on a book of the same name. Obviously.
It is about a girl named Meg, her little brother Charles Wallace, and her love interest and classmate Calvin, who go out to find her missing father who's been missing for years.
He's just going to go get a carton of milk. That's what my dad is doing for years.
They find help from these 3 magical beings, Mrs. Who, Mrs. What's-It, and Mrs. which somehow knew Charles Wallace before all this happened. I'm not sure how, but let me tell you, he's obviously not afraid of stranger danger.
Unless that stranger does have some really good candy, then it's okay otherwise.
So anyway, they go to this gorgeous land and try everything to find our father until they realize that he's in this black thing. Now the black thing sounds like nothing to be scared of, but let me inform you, it's pretty creepy.
Debatable.
In the black thing, you can't trust anyone at all, similar to how you can't trust anyone in the real world. Now isn't that scary?
It's called life.
I know, that's what makes it so scary. Well anyways, Charles Wallace is hypnotized by the it and taken hostage. Then Meg and Calvin find Meg's dad by the power of physics. Then her dad and Calvin go back home and she stays to get Charles Wallace, who she literally loves back from hypnosis.
I love you, Charles Wallace, I love you!
The power of love, am I right?
Ugh. Sorry, that's way too cheesy for me.
Then Charles Wallace and Meg return home to their parents and it's like nothing happened except for their dad's return. That's basically the entire movie. So what does that have to do with it exactly?
Yeah, you've mentioned nothing about it at all. So, you're nothing but a liar. Liar!
Well, if you listen to me like a normal human being, you would know another name that they call the black thing is the it. And if you were to look in the book, the it is referred to in total capital letters. If you have ever read it or seen any posters or trailers, you know it is written in capital letters, similar to A Wrinkle in Time.
Coincidence? I think not!
Also, the it is described as
an evil that's actively spreading. If we do not act soon, darkness will fall across the universe.
Similar to how a disease would. Once one person gets hit, everyone around does as well. In the movie, you can tell that the it shapeshifts in order to control the person that it is after, similar to the it in its original movie.
Well, I mean, in both movies, since there is an original and a remake, and also the book.
What if it is the same it as it? I know it is confusing.
Pun highly intended.
It doesn't even sound like a real word anymore. Anyway, my theory is that they really are the same, from names to locations. So if you remember the story of Stephen King's It, the story takes place in Maine, which is a part of New England, which is coincidentally where A Wrinkle in Time takes place. It is unspecified where exactly in New England it does, but we can assume it's anywhere up there. So both movies take place in New England and include the it, a shape-shifting manifestation that preys on fearful and trusting children.
I mean, Jared Fogle has to have some sort of hobby nowadays.
Okay, I get it. But Nerdy, what about the time gaps? Well, it only appears every 27 years, right?
I mean, it's understandable. I'd want a nap too after eating a huge meal myself.
So when does A Wrinkle in Time take place? It takes place in 1960. And if you go back to the clippings that the children found in it, you see that the years do not match up. One is from 1908. If you do the math, 1960 doesn't match up with that timeline. So it is very possible to be talking about the same It in both movies. So time schedules aren't a problem. Then there's the shape-shifting factor that brings a lot of light to this theory. Did you know that most Americans are more afraid of clowns, including me, than climate change? It is even above terrorism. So would it be so surprising that Pennywise decided to take the shape of a clown to spike fears, especially in children?
Why hello there, Pennywise. Why don't you have a seat right there on that stool?
Seriously? Okay. In A Wrinkle in Time, the It shapeshifts a lot. It even changes its appearance to make it more appealing to each of the children, such as the cul-de-sac scene, the beach scene, and the round room. Each one more convenient to itself to break each child. And it did end up breaking Charles Wallace with math.
Simple as twice 1 is 2, twice 2 is 4, twice 3 is 6, twice 4 is 8, twice 5 is 10.
Okay, if that's how It wants it, I'm not gonna judge how it gets its victims. So as you can see, It shapeshifts for convenience of capturing its victims the same way. So we have covered location, name, shapeshifting, and timelines. But there are a few coincidences that I want to address between these two movies. For example, It makes victims of both of the main characters' little brothers. Both Georgie and Charles Wallace fall victim to It's mind-capturing abilities. Is that a coincidence? I don't believe so. Also, both of the main characters follow the same story in a way. Their brothers are taken captive, then they risk their lives to avenge and take them back.
It honestly makes me wish I was an only child, to be honest.
But in Bill's case, he doesn't get his brother back. This may be because of the fact that the It learned from its mistake. I mean, you saw its ability to learn in just a few hours, so imagine in a matter of years. Also, notice how intrigued the stranger at the beach becomes when Charles Wallace says that the food tastes like sand. Let me play that clip for you.
Tastes like sand.
Does it?
It's all sand.
Ha! I thought you were like me, Charles Wallace. I thought you were special. And you are. You passed the test.
So what if it is because Charles Wallace has The Shining? This is a totally different theory though. So if this video gets 5 likes, I will do a theory on that.
So go on. Give this video a like right now, or else Pennywise is gonna come out and get you at night.
That would be like combining this movie with 2 different Stephen King movies. So is it possible that the It in A Wrinkle in Time is the same It as in It? Could it be evolving based on past mistakes to get more children for its appetite? If you stand with me on this, give this video a like. Well, there's so many questions and so little time. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Unfortunately, it's time for RJ and I to return to the sewers ourselves. Remember, my theories are just that, theories. Anything you want to say, RJ?
Thank you, Nerdy number 3, for having me on the show. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you do so, you might even get a free balloon as well. Because remember, we all float down here, and you'll float too.